Hello and welcome back to Into the Shoujo-Verse. I'm your host Summosa, and today we'll be discussing episodes 10 and 11 of Horimiya. Today I'm here with Miso, and I'm sure you noticed, Miso, that there was a lot of discussion going on around episode 10.
Yeah, there was a lot of friction happening on Twitter, a lot of discourse. I wasn't really part of it.
Intense, getting heated up.
A little bit on
So what
Hori's statement about Miyamura not falling for another guy or dating another guy after her.
so what did she exactly say? She said, she asked Miyamura to promise her that he'll never fall in love with a guy. It has to be a girl.
Yeah, and then it was twist. I don't know if it was twisted, but everyone kind of took it out of context and sort of exploded on it on Twitter.
Since they were talking with the other guys that Miyamura's friends with, and she was getting jealous that he hangs out with them a lot, and she thought they were too close to each other. Actually, it was the guy who bullied him, right? The green-haired guy who bullies Miyamura. I guess they're friends
Yeah,
now.
him and the really I don't remember his name. Who's the other guy?
Sengoku?
No. The one from his elementary school, and he's friends with him as well. The one with yellow hair.
Uh, it's like his best friend. I don't remember his name, but Miyamura's best friend forever.
Yeah, that guy.
But yeah, they were talking about that. And so why is this statement problematic?
So this isn't written by me. This is written by Bees, since she is a bit more knowledgeable, I guess you could say.
About LGBTQ plus issues.
Yeah, because I wasn't quite sure exactly what the outrage was, because to me, Hori was just kind of making a really weird joke and was kind of being insecure and all that jazz.
Rather
But
than a joke, it was like her just being like very possessive, and the joke was like obviously by the mangaka. He was just trying to like make Hori seem crazier than she is.
yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. To me, it's just a really weird, quote unquote joke to make. It's really
Mm-hmm.
out of place and why? Anyways, what B said is that the problem with the statement is that they kind of reused the LGBTQ plus as the butt of the joke of as long as Miyamura isn't gay or he's not gay, then it's all good, it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Since it's like, oh, as long as you're not gay, it's okay, or just don't be gay. And they could have easily like left this out of the anime, right? Like since like when did the manga come out? Like in 2013, 2012 when like gay jokes were like still like very popular, very common compared to today. And so like they left a lot of things out in the anime. I don't know why they decided to keep this in.
Yeah, I think this is one of the things they didn't have to animate this. It wasn't very important to the plot point or anything. It doesn't bring character development at all.
Yeah, it didn't really have anything to do with the episode at all either.
I mean, majority of this episode was just about Yuki and Ishikawa and their fake dating thing,
Mm-hmm.
which honestly was not a big fan of it. I kind of skimmed through it. It was really boring to me.
Mm-hmm. I actually really liked this episode. I thought it was like well done. I wasn't like especially bored throughout, like compared to like some of the other episodes, and I didn't think it was like jumping around too much. Like it kind of kept to the point, which was like about Yuki and Ishikawa, like and how they were dealing with it, or like specifically how Yuki was dealing with it.
I was just gonna say, they definitely improved on the pacing within episode 10 and 11. It was really well paced and everything was kind of, it made sense how it flowed. But I just didn't care about Yuki and Ishikawa's relationship, basically. Because it's kind of spoiler, but if you read the manga all the way to the end, which came out recently, um, they don't really end up together, so there was no point of this entire drama to begin with.
Don't end up together, and you're just like, what the heck? Why did we like? Why were we cheering on for them so hard just for them to like not end up together? And Ishikawa ends up with some other one else. And it's like, oh, what the heck? Why?
Why would I spend 20 minutes watching about this crush that will never even be fulfilled? It's just kind of pointless to me.
Mm-hmm. Like the most that happens between them, it's like more than friends, but less than like lovers kind of deal. And they discuss this in the manga, like, oh, people are surprised that like they're not actually dating. Like their entire friend group was surprised that they weren't dating when I was reading. Like it was like in the later chapters, like around chapter 72, 73. And basically in this episode, it starts off with like Yuki feeling guilty about lying that she's dating Ishikawa. Since if you guys remember, Ishikawa was pretending to be Yuki's boyfriend because what's his name, Yanagi,
Yeah,
had a crush on Yuki.
the Yu-Gi-Oh wannabe, yeah.
The red-haired Yu-Gi-Oh wannabe. He wants to be Yugi so bad.
His hair is like, it looks okay in some shots, but then when you start panning up, like that shot of them panning up from his hair, it looks like a hot mess. Like, was I watching Yu-Gi-Oh all of a sudden?
The defying gravity moments.
It was something. It wasn't bad, but it was very different from the rest of the cast.
I just hate that side bank. Like, if he just got rid of that, like, long side bank, he'd be, like, 10 out of 10. Like, I'd be so happy with his character design.
Yeah, he has like this one
But no,
random
can we
bang.
get a... Like, doesn't it, like, make his nose itchy or anything?
I don't understand, but it's anime hair, so like everything defies logic, I
Yeah, all
guess.
problems are... Yeah. Even his glasses.
He doesn't even wear glasses, which is like, why? This guy can't see.
Oh, no. He was wearing glasses when Yuki met him at the like when she was with her sister. You know how they meet up.
Oh,
He
right,
was wearing
right, right.
glasses then,
But he doesn't wear
and
it
she
at
was like, "Why are you
school.
wearing glasses?"
Why is he not wearing it at school? Because like he's pretty blind.
I don't know. I guess he feels like he has to be like is he's described as being like very hot, so maybe he thinks like glasses will take away from his
His
good
hotness.
looks. Literally. But let's continue talking about what exactly happened in this episode. So Yuki feels guilty about lying to Sakura that she and Ishikawa were dating, and she felt like so bad about it. She like just left, like took time off of school because she's kind of like intense.
Yeah.
And then Ishikawa messages Yuki that Sakura confessed to Ishikawa, and Ishikawa actually rejects Sakura because he thinks that Sakura is above his league. Which says like kind of like sus, you know, about Yuki like to so he thinks Yuki's not that hot, you know what I mean?
This is kind of like a reoccurring problem because like Yuki thinks Yanagi is like above her leagues, and then Ishikawa thinks Sakura's above his leagues, which is like what?
I think Sakura is the best like she is definitely above his league.
What do you mean? They literally look the same.
Oh, I don't mean like by looks. I mean like by grades and all that.
Okay, yeah.
Like I bet Sakura's gonna end up like at the best university in like Japan and like have a like hot lawyer
She's gonna
boyfriend.
do good. She's gonna do fine.
She's definitely gonna make it in life.
I don't know. I still find like the Yuki Ishikawa romance kind of like out of place or like out of nowhere because it was introduced really weirdly and quickly, and then we're just supposed to accept it.
Mm-hmm. For sure. They didn't include this in the anime, but Yuki actually had a crush on Miyamura, right? But Ishikawa always had a crush on Hori. So it was like they were just basically each other's rebounds that never like really happened. That nothing ever happened.
There's a lot of like, okay, I know we just said the pacing was good, but the development is kind of still a little wonky, I guess. There's a lot of things that
The
are cut
pacing
out.
was good, but it left a lot of questions.
Yeah, there's like a lot of things they just cut out of the manga, which again, I'm pretty sure the anime is just speed running like the entire series at this
Hmm.
point.
Since we're like on what, chapter 70? We're like on chapter 60 to 70 now in the manga, and like, and this is what chapter, episode 10? Like, it's so fast.
Yeah, I'm expecting episode like the finale, episode 12 and 13 to be like all the way to the end at this point because of how fast everything is
Yeah, I
going.
feel the same way. Since I think they like timed it really well too, since like the last Horimiya chapter just came out like what, Friday? Last week? Sometime last week.
And then now this is gonna be the complete. And this supposed to be like an extra in the summer, so everything's like perfectly timed.
Really.
That's sus.
I wonder if they're gonna have it. I wonder if they're gonna like animate the extras that come out in the summer.
It might be an OVA.
Yeah, maybe they'll have some OVAs.
It's very, very timed.
It almost like they wanted us to buy the manga.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. It's like there is some marketing scheme behind it because it was so well timed, especially with the announcement of Horimiya ending, and it ended, and it's too perfect.
There's definitely has to be like a marketing scheme behind this. Like otherwise, why?
Yeah, and the fact that there's like a Horimiya anime after all these years.
Like who wanted this? Who was waiting for a Horimiya anime? How many people?
I'm sure there's a lot of fans, but I'm also pretty sure a lot of fans ended up dropping it through like chapter 60, 70.
I dropped it like halfway through too, since I used to be like very into Horimiya when I was in high school, like when I started reading this. And I really liked it then, since I didn't think too hard about the characters.
Yeah, I liked it up until like chapter like 40, 50, and then I dropped it there because the plot was going anywhere and the relationship was kind of toxic, as you all know.
Yeah. I stopped reading it when I couldn't remember who people were. Like, who is this? Why should I care about this person? Why... You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that kind of ties into episode 11, because, like, there was so many characters thrown in there. And...
Yeah, everybody... I think the entire cast was there.
Yeah, like, Ira... Like, I don't think... Were we even introduced his name?
I'm pretty sure it's Ira.
Ira? I don't know how to pronounce, I'm sorry. But, I don't know, I feel like Ira... I'm just gonna butcher it. But his character was kind of thrown in there, and then I guess I really liked episode 11 though, because there's a lot of character development and a lot of like happy fun times with the crew.
I think he was like a pretty chill character. I love how his sister described him as like being like deep in thought, and everybody was like, "What?" No, Hori was like, "What? He's deep in thought."
I love how he's so different between like at school and with his sister. It's kind of like it's kind of nice to just see like him being an older brother and how different that could be.
Yeah, it was so wholesome so Ira's sister wants to go to a specific high school, but her teacher said her grades weren't high enough. And so she was crying about it to her brother, and Ira was like, "I'm gonna beat this teacher up. Who is he? Tell me the name."
Yeah, that's actually so nice of him, because if I told my sister that, I think she'd just be like, "I don't care, just study harder." Gosh.
I think I would just make fun of my cousin if she told me her grades were bad.
Yeah. I also like the friendship between all the characters in this episode. I think it was like a really big highlight of this episode and what makes like Horimiya a good read/watch.
Since it's like just a bunch of friends chilling together, going through like high school. And like I guess it is a little bit realistic. Like all relationships can't be like good. And this teaches you what you shouldn't do. What signs you should look out for.
Definitely. Signs to look out for. You say that as if Hori isn't like kind of toxic.
Signs to like avoid, that's what I meant.
I mean, I feel like, okay, with this fast pace, the one advantage Horimiya has right now is that it hides all of like Hori's sort of toxic and like abusive traits because it's going so fast.
I was rereading some of the chapters in the manga, and there's like this one, I think it's in chapters 76 or something, but Hori and Miyamura get into a fight. And Miyamura's entire cheek is like covered in a bandage, so because like a huge like a gauze, because Hori hit him. And Hori had like a bandage because she hit herself on the wall. And like it's one thing to play it off of as abuse as a joke, but then they like actually use bandages and stuff, and then you're like, wait, they actually are like hitting each other.
Yeah, like if it was like a joke hit and then like no injury, then I could close my eyes to it. But once you put a bandage on, it's like, oh, this isn't like a fictional hit. This is like a non-fiction in-world hit. I don't know if that makes sense. But like
Yeah.
within that fictional world, it's real.
Like the moment they apologize, like, oh, I'm sorry for hitting you, and like there's like an actual bruise, you're like, wait, this is not good.
Yeah, that's when Horimiya kind of went downhill, when they like played off Hori's like physical,
Hitting as a joke.
yeah, and then again with the don't be gay type of like the gay jokes, which is kind of, they kept going at it basically.
Yeah, like we're in 2021. Like you can just cut some things if you don't want to. Like they're already not truthful to the manga. Why did I have to include this specific scene?
Yeah, like you already cut a lot of the character development and how like this friend group even formed, because last time I checked, Sengoku and people were like all angry at each other, so how come he's in the friend group now?
Sengoku was literally bullying Miyamura. When did it get to the point of like? Well, I mean, there's like I think in the previous episodes, I forgot which one, but Sengoku like goes to Miyamura's bakery, and then he's like, "Hey, let's make up."
Oh no, not that guy. That's not Sengoku. Sengoku's the student council, isn't he?
Oh, I'm thinking of the bully guy.
Okay, yeah, the bully one made more sense just because, like, there was like, oh, he actually apologized. But this Sengoku and the student council, when did they ever get close and why and how?
Yeah, there's like a lot of like I remember in the manga Miyamura and Sengoku actually bonded because Hori's terrifying.
Yeah, that was cut from
Because
the.
Hori used to bully Sengoku. Oh, did you read the latest chapter from like the final chapter?
I read it really briefly.
But did you see the part? I didn't realize like Kyosuke, Hori's dad, and Sengoku's dad were like knew each other.
Kind of made sense since like they're childhood friends. I lost my train of thought for a second.
Yeah, they've been like together forever, basically.
It's also nice to see that like Sengoku and Hori are just friends and like there's no like, oh, they're childhood friends, therefore romance. You know, no love triangle either.
But wasn't Hori just like helping him out because she feels guilty? That I feel like that's a positive trait for Hori because she can feel guilt. She's not a complete sociopath. She can still go to counseling.
She's something. Like she has problems.
She does.
But it's all played
I
as a
do
laugh.
wish they would like tell us like what Kyosuke does. Like he's just not there. Then he's there.
I'm not sure if it was this episode or like which episode. There was like one shot of like Kyosuke where he finally like reveals his like face. I was like, damn, he's kind of hot. But what,
He's definitely
yeah,
hot.
I'm like, but what does he do? Like, he just looks like
I
businessman.
feel like he's a truck driver. Like that's like the most like I can guess, you know?
But
Because they go on trips for long periods of time and then they take like long breaks at home.
oh, but okay, because in that like shot of him in his business attire, I was like the one he was wearing a suit. So like, is it common to just wear a suit to truck drive?
Isn't it like, do I know in Japan they actually like have their uniform, like a separate uniform at their office that they change into?
Oh, that could be it too. I'm not sure. I don't think
Since
they've
I've
ever.
seen like stuff like that in like some josei manga. I don't know how accurate it because I just saw it in manga, but who knows?
I feel like it might be accurate. Cause like I remember when I went to Japan, like everyone was wearing like a business suit, and it's like no way everyone is a businessman doing business things, right?
Wait, did you only went to Tokyo, right? Or have you gone to any other parts?
I went to like Osaka, like Kyoto area as well,
Hmm.
and Hokkaido. Those are like
I've been to Okinawa, and they're more casual, I feel like, than other parts of Japan.
I have not
I
been
didn't see
there,
as
but
many like business suits.
you know, I like Tokyo definitely. They were all like business suits, and I'm like, there's no way. How many business are there? Or offices, more
So
like.
many. But I think business casual is like also a fashion, like in bigger cities.
I don't think what even like constitutes as like business casual anyways?
No tie? I don't know.
Right? I have no idea what like business casual is.
I think of like a play like for women it's kind of easier than guys. No, guys have it easy. They just have to put on like a polo shirt and like slacks and then they're good.
Guys have it
That's
easy.
business casual. They do.
And then
Oh,
business
so
is
I did engineering for like a hot stint, and my engineering teacher was like, if you're a girl, if you go to like an intern, like for a career fair, you have to wear clear nail polish and put on makeup. And she didn't say the same thing to guys.
what the oh, something about that. I think in Japan, it's like if a girl doesn't wear makeup or something, it's like considered rude.
Oh yeah, and like heels. I remember seeing something like, wasn't there like a politician who was like all women in the workforce should wear
I
heels?
think so.
I remember that being like a
It
big
was like
thing.
heels and contacts or something like that. It was something really absurd. I'm like, what?
It's kind of funny, like Japan is so technologically advanced, but there are just some things like that would just not fly in the States
They're
or Canada.
they have
Sorry for
some
forgetting about you.
they have some like not culture but like society norms that are like very outdated or
Hmm.
societal rules that are just like it's very outdated. It's like why are we still following like rules that were made back in the like who knows even when?
The Meiji period,
Like why
the feudal
like
era.
why are we still following these rules and how come they still use a fax machine? That's like my biggest question.
Oh yeah, but a lot of like places still use fax machines.
I don't
Like when at the hospital I was volunteering at, they still had fax machines, and so does my dad's office. They still have fax
but is that
machines.
like the main
A lot of
thing?
like federal stuff have like stuff.
Is that
So
still like the
fax stuff.
main like way of sending things?
Yeah, and there's email.
Yeah, because I think most places is like email.
But some stuff where you like have to get things signed, I'm pretty sure like you have to just use a fax. You can't use anything else
I think you can
for
scan.
like confidential
Some
reasons.
things you can just scan, I think.
Anyways, do you have any other comments about
We're so off topic about fax machine. Actually, speaking of fax machine, I do have a fax machine at work that we don't use.
maybe they'll use it one
I
day.
don't think so. I think it just came with the printer, like it's like those attached things, and it's just there, but
Ah.
no one faxes.
I entered in like a vaccine research place and they still had floppy disks.
You what?
Yeah, floppy disks.
What year am I in?
You know what I miss? I miss Clippy. Clay should bring back Clippy.
Clickbeat.
Clippy?
Oh, the little paperclip guy.
Yeah, Clippy, the office assistant. Like, well, what happened to all the
He retired.
office assistants? Oh, he has a real voice. Oh my god. He was voiced by Gilbert Gottfried.
Well,
That's the voice of Iago, like the from Aladdin, the parrot.
for a second, I was like Iago. I wasn't thinking Aladdin because isn't Iago from like a play? Iago.
Iago? Maybe, I don't know.
He's
I
like
just
from like a Shakespeare.
yeah,
It's
it's
from
from
Othello.
Othello by Shakespeare.
I
Yeah.
was like, his name sounds so familiar. He's the main character. Oh no, he's not. I'm dying. It's called Othello.
As you can see, I love Aladdin. It's one of my favorite movies as a kid.
Yeah.
He was based on Iago, actually.
Anyways, any final thoughts on Horimiya?
um, Hori is homophobic and abusive.
Uh,
In conclusion.
in conclusion, we still roast Horimiya. Nothing new.
Nothing new. But I thought she was very cute when she was tutoring Yura's sister. Like she wanted like get Yura's sister like comfortable and
Yeah.
like before like trying to help her
Like again,
study.
I really liked episode 11. I think it was really well done and I really enjoyed it. It was like
Mhm.
the only episode I watched at like one time speed. The other ones,
It was like nice. It made sense. It wasn't like jumpy or weirdly paced. It like character like there were a lot of characters in this episode. I'm like we said earlier, I'm pretty sure like every single character we've seen so far was in this episode.
yeah, but it
But
was fun, and the
like
interactions were like wholesome, fun. Like nothing too
mhm.
serious.
I liked how they made Yura seem like they made him like more developed. Like you kind of saw like he wasn't just like this guy who makes fun of stuff and has no tact. Um, you saw like he's like a guy who like genuinely cares about his sister and like cares about his friends. Pretty
I
much.
think that's it for this episode. Then, before we continue going off topic.
Well, find us on our social medias. Thank you for listening to us. We are into the Shoujoverse on all social media, basically. The Shoujoverse on TikTok, Shoujoverse on Twitter, at Shoujoverse.
I think we're into the Shoujo-Verse on Instagram.
And you can find us on Card, shoujoverse.card.co. That has like all our links where you can find us to listen to us. If you want to shoot us fan mail, go for it. We appreciate fan mail.
You can also leave a comment on our YouTube channel because we actually read those.
We actually do. Thank you for the person who said WTF. We read it.
Thank you for everyone who comments, leaves a like. Appreciate all the views we get.
We do.
Let us know if there's something else you want us to talk about.
Or like if you have any suggestions on what we can do, we're pretty chill.
Yeah, like we talk about fax machines for like a good 5 minutes.
That Azan's is definitely gonna cut out.
Oh, okay. Well, if the fax machine doesn't make it, then we can talk about anything. So leave us a comment and suggestion about what you want to hear from us.
Do you want to hear about fax machines? Let us know. And bye.
Bye.